What's going on, everyone? Out here in the garage tonight, trying to get things put together on things that I need to get done for tomorrow to go make a trip on Tuesday to pick up the motor. The motor for the boat is done and ready to be picked up. I got the call Friday, so we are going to be picking the motor up on Tuesday and getting it back here. I'll be back Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, hopefully. I'm going to be leaving here at 4:30 in the morning on Tuesday to go pick it up and get back here and get it set in here in the garage and start working. So they've had it for 3 months, and so I haven't done an update with you guys on it. So that last time we were out, it lost compression in 6, and it was blowing oil out of the breathers and all that and stuff. So if you didn't see that video, go check that last video out. I kind of give you guys an update of what happened with it. But I was making a pass across the lake, and it was 100 degrees outside. Water was definitely choppy and stuff. I thought it was pretty good. I thought I was in a good enough area, but no, I was not. The motor shut off, and looked back, and I seen oil sprayed everywhere, all over the headers and everything. So I got up, I went back, looked, and didn't see nothing coming through the block. So I didn't throw a rod out the block, so that was a good thing, and all that. But she was hurt. She was badly hurt and stuff. So yeah, got it back here, got it ripped out, and took it back to Blueprint. They had it ever since July 22nd. So yeah, I've lost half the season. I lost the rest of the season for going to the lake and everything. So no big deal. It happens. But now after this deal here, there's some changes that I'm doing for the boat, and I am going to be having a spare motor for the boat. So once this motor comes back from Blueprint, I get it back, and I'm going to start. I've already got the block picked out and everything, and the rotating assembly. So once I get back here, the motor back on Tuesday, I'm going to be ordering parts for the spare motor and getting that going. So that way I have a spare motor for a backup for in case something like this ever happens again and stuff, which I think with what I found out, I think I'll be okay. And with the changes that I'm making to the boat, we should be okay. But I just want to be prepared, because definitely after half the season this year, we've pretty much canceled the rest of the trips that we've had planned and stuff because of this. So, but now with having a spare motor and spare parts, we should be ready for whatever happens and stuff. But now I think with the fuel system that I'm changing, with the fuel pump, because the fuel pump that we ran on it before was too small, is the Mallory 140. That fuel pump was only good to 600 to 700 horsepower. This motor that we're putting in here, and plus the spare motor I'm going to be building, is definitely making more, over 800-900 horsepower. So it's definitely making more power than that. And then plus also that fuel pump got plugged, and so it leaned the motor out. Because I pulled the fuel pump out of it, I checked it, and yes, there's a screen inside the fuel pump that got plugged, and there's a bunch of junk and crap in it. So it was not supplying the fuel that it needed when I made that last pass of the day and stuff. So that's what I think, that is majority of why it leaned out there, because it wasn't getting the fuel that it needed. And then plus the horsepower range for that fuel pump was not good. So I'm putting a MagnaFuel 500 fuel pump in it that has the filter and stuff. So we're going to do that. And then plus we're also changing the fuel lines. I have Dash 8 fuel lines that I ran out before, and now we're putting Dash 10. So we're going up bigger in fuel lines and fuel pumps. And I'm also going to be changing fuel, putting race fuel in it, but we're going to do that a little bit different. So I'm gonna keep the percentage of the overdrive on the motor down for me to cruise it. And so one tank, this boat has 2 tanks in it, so one tank's gonna have pump gas in it and the other tank's gonna have race fuel in it. So this way, when I decide to change the pulleys to give it more boost and all that, then I can flip it to the other tanks, to the other race tank, the fuel, the race fuel. So that'll be in the other tank on the passenger side, and the driver's side will have the pump gas stuff in it. So this way I can at least go cruise it, have fun, and go from there. And then when I want to go make a pass or I race somebody, whatever happens, all I have to do is change the pulleys around and change 2 valves, shut off 4 valves or 2 valves and turn the other 2 on. So because with this fuel pump I got to run the bypass return line. I have to run the return lines back to both tanks. So the race fuel tank will have 2 valves to turn both those off, and then the pump gas tank will have 2 valves to turn those off. So this way, when I want to run the pump gas, I turn those 2 valves, the fuel tank line on, and then the bypass valve on, and then shut the other 2 valves off for the race tank, and then vice versa when I want to run the race fuel. So we're gonna do that, and then the fuel pump's gonna get a relay and all that stuff on it, since this is a bigger fuel pump, and so it's gonna get a relay for that and all that. So I figured once the motor gets back here, 2 weeks, I should have the motor set in there, and then I can finish hooking stuff up. So we're also changed plugs, and I'm not going to run the plugs that they recommend, because those plugs there that they recommend for that motor is too hot for a blower application or a boosted application for that motor. So I'm going to run, because what they recommend is the NGKs. Where do I have those? They're the NGK 5s. So I'm going to put the NGK 9s in it and stuff a Kohler plug to kind of help prevent some of that. And then also I'm going to be running an intercooler too as well. I went and purchased that about a month ago, so that'll be on there. And I got the longer belt. So I've been gathering up parts, I've been getting stuff situated, so this way once this day comes, if the motor gets back, then we can start thrashing to get stuff put in there, finish getting things cleaned up and all that. So we're definitely on the right track on getting this thing done. And again, hopefully this week, maybe the end of this week, maybe next week, I can get the new block and the rotating assembly in here, and then that way I can get that stuff to the machine shop and get that done. And then we'll get the motor back here, get the rotating assembly put together, and then I can start looking at some badass heads to put on this motor for the spare motor. So that's, like I said, that's all in the works. The spare motor for this is all in the works. So that, and then so we're going to be working on that, the spare motor, and then I'm also going to be working on this project behind me as well. So this project behind me, you will see videos on that. So the videos, once this motor comes back, videos are going to be kind of bouncing around for the boat, the spare motor, and this. So want to get this done, get this where I can cruise this around. So I'll be doing a separate video on this probably later in the week. Got the motor sitting in it and all that stuff. The motor I'm going to be running in it. So we'll kind of go over some stuff on this, but just want to give you guys an update on the boat motor and all that. So again, that will be here on Tuesday evening, sitting in here in the garage. And then after that, that's going to be getting things back together and all that with getting the motor in there. And my goal is to have the motor set in there by Thanksgiving, or before Thanksgiving is my goal. We'll see how everything goes on getting parts in here, which should be no big deal to get the fuel lines, the other fuel lines I need to get and stuff and all that. So that's where we're at with the boat. Wanted to give you guys an update on that. I know it's been 3 months. It's been over 3 months since I did a video and stuff. So I just want to give you guys an update on that. And we're going to be getting back on the boat this week, and getting this thing back up and running. So I'm not sure when the first fire up's going to be. The first fire up's probably going to be next year sometime, and all that. So that's pretty much about it on this. So I just want to give you guys an update. So again, the first fire up's going to be next year, probably in May, and stuff. So unless I get it done sooner than I expected for getting the fuel system and all that plumbed up, because fuel lines are going to have to get changed, lengthened, and water lines are going to have to get made since I got the intercooler. So I got to make new water lines and run those for exit and everything. So it's going to take a bit, but I will be trying to do videos and stuff along the way as I'm doing this. So if you guys want to see me put this thing back together, get the motor set back in there, again, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.